The sun blazed down upon the city of Delhi. The year was 1330 AD. From the sky, the city was a sprawling tapestry of life. Bazaars buzzed with merchants and their wares. Grand mosques pointed their minarets towards the heavens. At the heart of it all stood the Red Fort, a symbol of power and justice. Within its walls resided Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq, a ruler known for his intellect and his unwavering commitment to justice for all. One scorching afternoon, a farmer named Ram Singh arrived at the palace gates. The sun beat down mercilessly, but Ram Singh's resolve was unshaken. He had walked miles, driven by a burning need to seek justice for his family. His heart was heavy with grief and anger. The weight of his sorrow was almost unbearable, but his determination kept him moving forward. He carried a tale of injustice, a story that needed to be heard by the highest authority in the land. His young son, Mohan, had been brutally injured. The sight of his son's pain haunted him every day. Mohan lay at home, his arm broken, his spirit crushed. The once lively boy now lay silent, his dreams shattered. The perpetrators were the Sultan's own royal guards, men who were supposed to protect, not harm. They had trampled through Ram Singh's fields, their horses trampling young Mohan. The fields, once lush and green, were now a scene of devastation.
My son, my poor Mohan. His laughter has been replaced by cries of pain. His arm is broken, his spirit crushed. The joy in his eyes has vanished. The Sultan's guards did this. They showed no mercy, no regard for the innocent. They trampled through our fields, their horses showing no mercy. The crops we depended on were destroyed in an instant.
Ram Singh, a man of simple means but unwavering spirit, was determined to seek justice. He knew the path ahead was fraught with challenges, but he would not be deterred. He clutched a handwritten petition. Every word on that paper was a plea for fairness, a cry for help. He would present his case to the Sultan himself. He believed that the Sultan, known for his wisdom and fairness, would listen. For Ram Singh believed in the Sultan's reputation for fairness. He had heard tales of the Sultan's just decisions and hoped for the same. He believed that even the lowliest farmer deserved justice. In his heart, he held on to the hope that justice would prevail. Unbeknownst to Ram Singh, the Sultan often visited his own court disguised as a commoner. He wished to hear the pleas of his people directly. He wanted to ensure that justice was served without fear or favor. On this day, the Sultan sat unnoticed amongst the crowd. His keen eyes observed Ram Singh's arrival, his simple clothes and the pain etched on his face. The court was a grand spectacle. Courtiers whispered in hushed tones. Scholars debated points of law. The Qazi, the chief judge, sat on a raised platform. He listened attentively to each case presented before him. When Ram Singh's turn came, a hush fell over the courtroom. Ram Singh recounted the events that led to his son's injury. He spoke of the guard's arrogance and disregard for his property and his son's well-being. He pleaded for justice, his voice echoing in the vast hall. The room was filled with a tense silence as everyone listened intently to his every word. The pain in his voice was palpable, and it was clear that this was not just a plea for justice, but a cry for help from a father who had been wronged.
The guards, they showed no respect for our land, no care for my son. They trampled through, leaving my boy injured. I beg for justice. They acted as if they were above the law, untouchable. My son, an innocent child, now bears the scars of their cruelty. How can we live in peace when those meant to protect us are the ones causing harm?
The courtiers gasped. Accusing the Sultan's guards was unheard of. It was then that the Sultan chose to reveal himself. He rose from his seat amongst the commoners. The entire courtroom bowed in respect. The air was thick with anticipation as everyone wondered how the Sultan would respond to such serious allegations against his own men.
Let us first dispense justice in this case. For today I stand before you not as your sultan, but as a man subject to the law just like any other. We must ensure that justice is served regardless of who the accused are. The law is above all, and it is my duty to uphold it.
The Sultan's voice resonated with authority, echoing through the grand hall. His words carried the weight of his position, but also a sense of fairness and integrity. The courtiers and commoners alike were moved by his commitment to justice.
The Sultan has spoken. We shall hear this case with all fairness and justice. No one is above the law, and every voice shall be heard. The court will proceed with impartiality, and the truth will be unveiled.
And so the wheels of justice began to turn, with the Sultan himself ensuring that every voice, no matter how humble, was heard. The courtroom buzzed with a renewed sense of hope and determination. This was not just a trial, it was a testament to the power of justice and the importance of every individual's voice in the pursuit of truth. The courtroom buzzed with astonishment. The Qazi, though surprised, knew the law must be upheld regardless of rank. He carefully reviewed the facts presented by Ram Singh.
He summoned the accused guards. They trembled before the Sultan. They were found guilty of negligence and abuse of power. The law dictates that the punishment must fit the crime. Since the victim, a young boy, is unable to deliver the punishment himself, it shall be administered by another of his age.
A young boy was brought forward. He was instructed to deliver 3 symbolic strikes on the Sultan's wrist as punishment for the transgression committed by his guards. The Sultan received the punishment with grace and humility. He stood as an equal before the law. He knew that true leadership meant upholding justice, even when it meant passing judgment upon himself. Later that evening, alone in his chambers, the Sultan reflected on the day's events. The weight of his responsibility pressed upon him. He was not above the law. He was its servant. His every action, every decision had consequences.
He vowed to use his position to ensure that justice prevailed throughout his sultanate. He would be a ruler who served the people, not one who ruled over them.
News of the Sultan's actions spread like wildfire, reaching every corner of the Sultanate. The tales of his deeds were on everyone's lips, from the bustling markets to the quiet village squares. The people of Delhi marveled at their ruler's commitment to justice. They spoke of his fairness and the way he listened to the grievances of the common folk, ensuring that everyone, regardless of their status, was heard. Ram Singh returned to his village not only with compensation for his son's injuries, but also with a renewed sense of hope. The Sultan's decree had restored his faith in the system, and he was welcomed back as a hero by his fellow villagers. The Sultan's actions resonated throughout the villages. Stories of his just ruling spread far and wide, inspiring other leaders to follow his example. He had shown that the law protected everyone, even against the excesses of power. His court became a symbol of fairness, where even the humblest of subjects could seek justice. Under Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq's reign, the Sultanate of Delhi flourished. Trade prospered, bringing wealth and prosperity to the region. The markets were filled with goods from distant lands, and merchants thrived. Scholars and artists from across the land flocked to his court. They found a patron in the Sultan who valued knowledge and creativity, fostering a golden age of culture and learning. But it was his unwavering commitment to justice that truly set him apart. His decrees were fair, and his judgments were respected by all. He became known throughout the land as a just ruler, a protector of the weak, and a beacon of hope for the oppressed. His legacy lived on, inspiring future generations to uphold the principles of justice and fairness. Centuries have passed since Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq walked the earth. The Red Fort still stands, a silent witness to history. The Sultan's tale serves as a reminder that true leadership lies in serving justice, not personal gain. His story echoes through the ages, inspiring countless individuals to strive for a world where the scales of justice are balanced and where the law protects all, regardless of their station in life.